A few years ago, I found a journal from 2017, and the goals I'd written, I was still writing them. Different year, same list. I remember staring at that page, feeling utterly defeated, wondering if I should just give up on it entirely. And that's the moment it hit me. This wasn't a discipline problem. Something else was going on. And that realization changed everything. So let me paint the picture. Fast forward to December 2026. You're sitting somewhere quiet, maybe with a cup of coffee, maybe in the same spot that you're in right now, and you pull out your journal from January and you flip to those first few pages where you wrote your goals for the year. And as you read them, something feels eerily familiar. Not just familiar, identical. The same goals that you set in 2025, maybe 2024, maybe even 2019. And I know that weight because I carried it for years. It's not just disappointment, it's that quiet question underneath, the one that you don't dare say out loud. Why can't I make this happen? What's wrong with me? And here's what I finally learned that I want to share with you today. And that question, it's a trap. And I'm about to show you why. If you just set your 2026 goals, maybe over the holidays, maybe on New Year's Day, and some of them look suspiciously like last year's list, stick with me because what I'm going to share is going to change how you approach your goals forever. So here's what I started wondering after that journal moment. What if the problem isn't discipline? What if I've been asking the wrong question this entire time? And here's what I finally saw. First in myself, then in pretty much every client I've worked with. It's not an execution problem. It's a foundation problem. And recognizing the difference changes everything. Most people, and I was definitely one of them, treat goals like a checklist. You write the goal, you make the plan, execute. And when it doesn't work, we blame ourselves. Not disciplined enough, not committed enough, not focused enough. Damn, I'm not lucky enough. So then we try harder. We buy a new planner, we find a new system, we set the same goal again, but with fresh motivation, and it still doesn't work. But what if the goal was never the problem? What if how you're approaching the goal is the problem? Here's what I discovered, and it's something I now walk every client through. Execution is the last piece, not the first. And there are three questions that have to come before what's my plan. And when we skip them, which most of us tend to do, we're building on a cracked foundation, and cracked foundations can't hold weight. Here are three questions to sort this out. And I'm willing to bet that you've never asked yourself any of them, at least not in this context. Think about a goal that you've been carrying, one that's been on your list more than once. Got it? Good. Let's test it. Question one, why is this goal important to me? Not what you think you should want, not what your industry says is the next logical step, and not what you inherited from your family or absorbed from your feed. Why is this particular goal important to you right now, today? Here's why this matters. Sometimes we're chasing goals that made sense for a version of us that doesn't even exist anymore. Goals we set at 25 that we're still dragging around at 40. Goals that belong to who we thought we should become, not who we actually desire to be. And when that's the case, your soul knows, even if your mind doesn't. and it will quietly block execution, not because you're undisciplined, but because it's protecting you from building something you don't actually want. So the first question, why does it matter to me? Question two, am I running towards something or running away from something? This is the difference between what I call a relief goal and a resonance goal. A relief goal sounds like, if I just achieve this, I'll finally be able to relax. A resonant goal feels like this. It lights you up. It has a power source of its own. It feels aligned. It feels like it's just what I'm here to do. So relief goals run from pain, and resonant goals run towards purpose. And here's what I've learned. Relief goals will drain you every single time because no achievement fills that hole that you're trying to fill. You hit the goal and then immediately need another one because the relief was temporary. Whereas resonance goals, they fuel you even when they're hard. So that's the second question. Is this relief or resonance? Here's question three. Do I have the capacity to carry this? Now, this one's really important. Most of us are trying to add goals on top of an already depleted system. You're running on empty and then wondering why you can't execute. You can't build a house while the foundation is crumbling. Can't run a marathon on no sleep, and you definitely can't execute a vision when your energy is already maxed out. If you're exhausted, overwhelmed, or burnt out, adding another goal isn't the answer. It's another weight on a system that is already struggling. So that third question, do I have the capacity to carry this right now? That one clarifies if you're setting yourself up for failure or success. Now, only and only after those three questions, that's when you start to strategize. So here they are again. Does this really matter to me? Does it fuel me or drain me? Do I have the capacity? Then what's the plan? That's the order. And when we skip it, when we jump straight into execution, we're building on a foundation that can't hold what we're creating. And that's why our goals keep dying. The foundation couldn't hold that. So here's what this looks like in action. One of my clients came to me with a goal that she had been sitting with for 3 years. She had the plan, she had the expertise, she had the audience, everything was in place except the execution. And she was convinced, like most high achievers, that she had a discipline problem. That if she just could find the right accountability system, the right morning routine, the right planner, it would finally click. So I asked her one question. Why does this goal matter to you right now? Long pause. And that pause told me everything I needed to know. Turns out the goal wasn't even hers. It was what her mentor had told her was the next smart step. What everyone in her industry was doing, what made sense on paper, but when she got really honest with herself, it didn't light her up. It actually felt heavy every time she thought about it. And her intuition wasn't blocking her execution because she was very disciplined. It was protecting her from building something that she didn't actually want. Her intuition hadn't been blocking execution because she was undisciplined. It was protecting her from building something she didn't actually want. And once she saw that, everything shifted. She let go of the goal that wasn't even hers to start off with, and she got really clear on what she did want. And then she launched that instead. Same woman, same skills, different foundation. And her goal, this time, she nailed it. And that's what's possible when you stop blaming yourself and start questioning what's motivating your goals. Just imagine not dragging the same goal into another year. Imagine the weight lifting, not because you finally achieved it, but because you stopped chasing something that was never going to give you what you were actually looking for. Imagine December 2026 feeling different, not defeated, not maybe next year, but your goal accomplished. Now, what would it feel like to reach a goal and not immediately need another one? What if you traded in that feeling of relief with a deep sense of satisfaction, the kind that carries you forward instead of leaving you empty? That's what happens when you build on a solid foundation first, and it's available to you right now, this year. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, okay, great, Anik, I'm with you, but how do I actually know which one is off? Is it my values, my energy, the goal itself? And that is the right question, my friend. And it's exactly why I created something to help you answer it. I call it your breakthrough blueprint. And in 2 minutes, it shows you exactly which pillar is creating your invisible ceiling right now, whether it's values, intuitive discernment, energetic alignment, or strategic execution. And once you know where the crack is, you can stop guessing. You can stop blaming yourself, and you can start building on solid ground. The link is in the show notes below. Here's what I want you to do. Before you start executing your 2026 goals, take the quiz. You deserve to build on a foundation that can actually hold what you're creating. You are at an important choice point right now, and you can set the same goals again, new planner, fresh motivation, familiar list, or you can ask different questions first. Why does this really matter to me? Does this fuel me or drain me? Do I have the capacity to carry it? That is the difference between another year in the goal graveyard and a year where things actually move you forward. And I know which one I'm choosing. I hope you'll join me. So, next week, we are talking about what happens when you're ready to go, the goals are set, the plan is in place, your energy is up, and nothing is moving. Frustrating, right? Yeah, that's next Monday. Until then, trust your intuition, keep aligned action, and keep leading with soul.